Good afternoon. Here we are going to present in this video how to make a multiple baseline design graph for applied behavior analysis. Um, so here we have three students. Their names are John, Alex, and David. They're elementary school students, and we're going to have them make two-digit multiplication problems per minute, and that's the behavior that we will observe for them. So we have the data for John is this data here in the second column. The blue numbers, and they are the baseline numbers, and the orange numbers are the intervention numbers. I have here these 22 selected in yellow. Why? Because for my intervention for all three students, the largest number that I have for the scores of the vertical line will be 22. That's the largest number. So this number will guide me as to which scale I will use in the vertical axis, okay? So it's just a little detail here so that we know. Okay, so the first graph, we're going to use John's data. So we select the first two columns, and then we'll go into the insert button. We'll choose recommended charts. I like to go to all charts and pick line chart. So I know it's this chart here on the right, but I need the observation points, right? Because it's just giving me a line. So I get out and I will pick this one with the observation points, and now I have the one that I want. So I'm going to do OK. So here I have my first graph. Is not formatted at all, so we have to go into formatting these graphs so that they look nice, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this, make it a little bigger on the horizontal axis. The second thing that I like to do is to take the name of John and put it right here. This is where it'll go. I go into the ribbon, into the home button, and I make it bold. The name John, I make it bold, okay? So now I have my row graph, and I start to format it, okay? I like to format the axis first, okay? So I'm gonna go and format maybe the vertical axis. Once I select the vertical axis, then format axis here on the right of my screen will show up. If you are in this icon here, then it'll give you your axis options, and it'll give you the possibility to change your maximums and your units, okay? So since my largest number is 22, I think that I will put 24 as my maximum number. I like to put even numbers so that I can use the units by twos. So you need an even number for the maximum. So I'm going to put 24 here. Then I go into the units and I select 2 as my units. So the scale, okay, wait a minute. Reset. Okay, there we go. So now that I have my vertical axis the way I want it, from 0 to 24 in units of 2, right? Now I am here. I have selected my vertical axis, right? I is still formatting this axis, so I can go into this icon here, fill and line icon right here. So I'm going to press that one, and I'm going to add a line, a vertical line for the axis. So I'm going to go here to line, and I'm going to pick solid line, and I'm going to give it a color. Of course, this color should be black. So I'm going to select color black. And so I'm going to put my cursors outside the graph to see what I have done so far. So here I have my vertical axis from 0 to 24 in units of 2. plus I have a solid black line. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the horizontal axis, my x-axis. So I'm going to click on top of the numbers. Once I have my cursors, and when it appears horizontal category axis, that means I'm very close by. So I go and click there, and now I have selected my horizontal axis. Okay, so I'm not going to do too much because first of all, the number of sessions here are 30. So the number here, the maximum number for horizontal axis is 30. That's great because that's what they are, 30 sessions. Okay, so, and I also want the units by 1. So it's already formatted, right? So what am I missing? Am I missing a line? Okay, so I go into this icon here, which gives me the possibility to format a line. So I go down here to line, and I'm going to go solid line, and it's already black. And I want you to notice something, Taman. Here is the width of that line, so you can make it as wider if you like. I don't like it too wide. I like it, barely 1 point. So I leave it at 0.75 points. Okay, if I want to see what I have done so far, I click outside the graph. Okay, so here I have my two axes formatted. But I'm going to do something extra with the horizontal axis, okay? Because I'm going to put the tick marks. And if you don't know what tick marks are, you will find out right away, okay? So I will select this, okay? I have selected the horizontal axis, and I am going to go down here where it says tick marks. So I'm going to go click on that, and I'm going to go measure type. And so I don't see very well, so I'm going over here to see what's going on, and I need that drop list. So measure type, I will go into the drop list, and I will pick outside and watch what happens on your axis. Okay, so you will have the tick marks that separate your numbers. If you want to do that for your vertical axis, you can do it as well. So we'll select the vertical axis, and you will go into tick marks, and you will use the measure type, and you will put them outside. You can put them inside, across, or none. Right now it's none, but if you want to have them, then I like to put them outside, okay? And now we have those little tick marks really help a lot. For reading, the numbers, and for drawing the lines that separate baseline from intervention, and so on and so forth, okay? Okay, very well. The next thing I like to do here is to format the chart area. This area here, all of this area here, is called the chart area. And if I go click on it, then you will notice that says plot area options. If I click on it again inside the grid lines, then I get these blue points. So I have to get these blue points, I need to click twice in that area, right? And what I want to do with those is to hit the delete button in my keyboard because I want them to disappear. So I did it, and so now I don't have any grid lines. And I also would like to arrange and format the line and the dots inside my graph. So if I go near the line, right, look at that. If I go here into this point, as I approach that point, Excel tells me which point it is. So right there, I am in Sirius John 0.11, and the value is 10.5. Okay, so if I go into point 11 here in my original table, my value is 10.5, right? So, okay, now if I go near the line, not the point, not the observation point, but the line, then I can go click, and then I will, right now there's all these blue little icons that look like stars. That means that your line is going to be formatted, right? And so as I picked up, I noticed that here it says format data series. So that's great. So I'm going to put there, I'm going to format the line first. So I look into solid line. Right now, the color of that line is blue. You see it right there. So I'm going to go solid line, and I'm going to make it black. Okay, so I picked that color there. And I think the width of the line is too thick. And so I'm going to pick the width of the line, and I'm going to make it lower. I'm going to make it 150 points. Okay, very nice. So I want to see what I have done. I click outside my graph. Okay, very good. Now, it looks like the observation points are blue. So I want to change those to black. Okay, so I go and approach the point, any point, and I go double click. And now I have the points. And I'm going to go into this icon here, and I'm going to pick marker. Those observation points are called markers in Excel. Okay, so I'm going to go in there, and I click on the word marker, and I will go solid fill, and then I will pick the black color here for that. The transparency, I'm going to leave it at 0, so it looks pretty dark. Okay, so now I click outside my graph, and I do have my first graph for John. Okay, so we finished the graph for John, so we're going now to build the graph for Alex. So as I do that, I select column C and column D, the data for Alex. I go like this. And once I select it, then I will go into the insert recommended charts. I have the chart right there. You know, it keeps the history of the ones that I have drawn. So that makes it a lot easier, right? So I go pick that one. And now I have the graph unformatted for Alex. Okay, so I'm going to move it like right next to John, but I'm going to move it the way that the left side of the graph matches correspondingly, exactly overlaps on top of John's graph, and it hides the numbers for John's horizontal axis. So right there, I'm going to click outside and see if I have this here pretty well aligned. So just a little bit tiny like that. So I'm going to use my arrow on my keyboard to move it a little bit to the right. And now I think it matches pretty well. So I need to do two things here to align these two graphs pretty much the same, and to hide the numbers for the horizontal axis with John's. So I want to just see what? The tick marks, right? The tick marks for John, okay? So now I have that. So I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to take it from here, from this point, and I'm going to, go and extend it to the other side so that I align perfectly with John. This is very crucial so that the scales work out perfectly. That's what you want, okay? Okay, so that I have now. So now I can come and enter and do the same formatting for Alex than I did for John, okay? So I'm going to go a little quicker here. So first of all, I take the name of Alex and I put it right here. I make it bold. I'm going to, okay, the format of the numbers are okay for vertical lines. So I'm going to add a solid line for the axis. So I select it and I'm going to go into line, solid line is 0.75 points. I click outside and that's good. Now I'm going to grab my horizontal, which is not formatted the same as John's, right? Alex and John are formatted differently for horizontal axis. So what I want is to make these 30 sessions just like it's the tick marks for John show me over here, right? So I'm going to go, I have selected the horizontal axis for Alex. So I'm going to go to this icon here where it says axis options. And I'm going to pick axis option. And now I'm going to put the maximum as what? As 30. And the units, I'm going to put them as 1. Okay. So I go enter and that we have now the same scale as the one above. I'm going to add the tick marks. So here I selected again, the horizontal axis. So I go into tick marks and I go major type and I'm going to go outside. And then I have my little lines here that are nice because it shows me, where those points are. Okay. What I'm missing here is a line for the horizontal axis. So I have selected it and then I go into axis options. No, excuse me. I go into here, this little icon, and then I said solid line. And now I have a gray color. So I'm going to change the color to black. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to format the plot area. So I'm going to go double click and now I have my grid lines. I will delete them. I deleted the vertical ones, but the graph, the default graph gave me vertical and horizontal grid lines. So I'm going to get rid of these two. Okay, so I'm going to go. I am in the plot area right now. So I click and then I get my blue little points for grid lines and I go delete them. Okay, very good. So now I'm going to change the format of my line. I'm going to change the color for the line and observation colors. I think the line is pretty much the same width as this one for John. So let's pick it. Okay, so I'm going to go into here and I'm going to put solid line and I'm going to change it to black. So right there. Very good. Now I will pick one point and I click it. No, I click it. Just a minute. I'm going to get into the points. Then I have points. So I'm going to go here into this and I'm going to go to markers and I'm going to say solid fill, and then the color black. Okay, so now I have my two first graphs, one for John and one for Alex. So same thing for the last student, which is David's. Okay, so let me close here a little bit. So here you have to do something in order to see. So what I'll do is first I will select the data for the last graph. Okay, so once I select it, then I'm going to go insert recommended chart and I'm going to pick this one for David and I'm going to go okay, and now I am going to move my sheet this direction. I'm going to make it lower, so now I'm going to line them up again okay? So first of all, I align these two charts, the one with Alex and Davis's. So I align them to the left, and I'm going to move it a little bit up so that I don't see the numbers. Okay, now I have that, and I'm going to take it again, and I'm going to move it from here, from this middle point, and I go and align it on the right side. Okay, so that's pretty much very nice align. Okay, so I go and format this chart. It's kind of a long process, but once you get the hang of it, then you will advance fast. Okay, format the vertical axis. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go double click to get the format, not chart area, excuse me. I'm going to, format axis. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to get my axis options, and I am going to, let's see, put 24 for my maximum, and I'm going to use units of 2. And so I'm going to go enter, very good. And then I'm going to get a line. So I'm going to go into this icon here, and I go solid line, and it's already black, transparency 0 with 0.75. That's great. So there you go. So now I have my vertical line formatted and the line drawn. Okay, I'll do the same for the horizontal. So sometimes it's hard to grab it, right? So when it's hard to grab it, go outside and then go inside again. Okay, I have it now. So I'm going to put my maximum as 30 sessions, and my major units, I'm going to go run them by 1. Okay, I go enter, and then I have that. Next thing, I want to get rid of the grid lines, delete and delete. Okay, very good. Now, I forgot to put the line and the tick marks on my horizontal, but doesn't matter. You can do this in any order that you like. Okay, tick marks, I'm going to put major type outside. These are very important because these are the ones that are going to be, to be read. The last graph will show the numbers, and that's whoever reads the graph is going to go into reading these numbers down here. Okay, I go into this icon here to get a line, solid line, and I am going to make it black. Okay, so right there. Now I have my 3 graphs. Pretty nice, right? I will move the name of David down here, and I will go into the ribbon and make it bold. Okay, and so I'm going to close this for a minute, and so now you can see that you have 3 graphs. You cannot see them all at once, right? So go down here into the scale of the sheet, of the Excel sheet, and just click on the minus sign, and so you will get a scale where you can see the 3 graphs at the same time. And that's kind of nice because you're going to take a picture of it, right? So you would like to be able to see them. Okay, so the last thing that we need to do is to put the names for the units of measurements in the vertical axis, as well as the name as the horizontal axis, which is session, right? So we're going to do that right now. So Taman, I forgot to change the colors of the line in the 3rd graph and the observation point. So I'm going to do that first, okay? So I'm going to be working on the 3rd graph. I picked the line, and now I have format data series. So I go into line and I said solid line and I make it black. Okay. Then I go into markers and then I said solid fill, and then I go into black. Okay, so now I have the three graphs with the same color, the lines and the observation points. Okay, so let's put the axis titles, right, for vertical as well as horizontal. Okay, so what we'll do with that is to insert here from the ribbon. We're going to go into insert text. And when you want to insert text, they give you different options, but we'll pick text box. So I'm going to pick that. And so I can put it right there and I will have the title 2-digit multiplication problems per minute. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bigger, the font. So I'm going to make it 12. So I select the whole title and I will make it also bold. So maybe 13. Make it a little bigger. Okay, very good. See this arrow that's turning, meaning you can turn this around. If you grab it from that point, you can put it vertical. Okay, right there. Once you have it vertical, then you unclick and then grab that title and put it in its place. So maybe right there. Okay, so we do the same for sessions here, the horizontal axis title. So insert text box, and I'm going to go sessions. I will make it bold and I'm going to make it 13, the same size and format as the other one. Okay, very good. So now I don't have to rotate it, but just grab it and put it in its place. So I'm going to go over here and I put it right there. Okay, what is missing from the graphs? We are missing the titles. Which titles? Baseline and intervention. And we are also missing the lines that separate the two faces. Okay, so to do that, we're going to go and see that for John, the first student, baseline ends in session 15 and intervention starts in session 16. So we're going to go and draw a line through those points. Okay, so as I told you before, when you are in the plot area, you can approximate an observation point, and right there it says John 0.16, value 10.6, right? So if you click on that and then double click, then only that point is going to be formatted. Okay, so it says here format data point. So I'm going into this fill and line icon and I'm going to go and say no line. Okay, very good. So we have the first graph with that line taken out. Okay, let's do the second one for Alex. It's going to be from point 18 to 19 is going to be the separation between baseline and observation. So I'm going to look for point 19, okay, for Alex. So I'm going to go like that, 17, 18, 19, right there. Okay, so I double click in order to format just that little point. And so I have here on the right, and I'm going to go into this fill and line icon, and then I'm going to go no line. So there, I separated the two lines, baseline and intervention. And the last one is from 19 to 20. So we have to look for point 20 here for David. And so right there, I found it pretty quickly. So I go into format data point and I look for the line and I said no line, and okay. So that's great. So we have now the separations from the two faces. So we're going to draw lines now, okay? The way I like to draw lines are first do the vertical lines and then do the horizontal lines, okay? So let's go and do insert shapes, okay? And then pick this one, which is a line, a plain line, okay? So now you have a line. So you're going to draw a line more or less like that, okay? And then you overlap it over here a little bit. You go into Alex's graph, okay? I don't like the color. It's kind of gray, right? So I'm going to change the color right here. I'm going to put it black. It's too close to the left, right? So with the arrow buttons on your keyboard, move it a little bit to the right, okay? Okay, very good, right there. So I click outside. Then I'm going to copy this line. I'm going to go Control C and then Control V. Okay, so then I'm going to put this line right there. Okay, I make it a little longer. So if I want to make it a little longer, I grab it from the extreme and I go like that a little, okay? Okay, maybe that's too long, so I'm going to make it a little shorter. Okay, very good. And then I go Control V to get the third line, and I'm going to put it right there. And that's the last one, so that's going to be a little shorter. Okay. And so I have now my vertical lines, okay, that separate baseline from intervention phases, okay? So now I'm going to go and insert again shapes, and I'm going to pick the line again, but now I'm going to draw a horizontal line, a short one, right? And I'm going to, it's sometimes hard to make it totally horizontal. Maybe if you do them a little longer, it's easier. Once you lose that, then okay, so you grab it and you take it here, and of course it's too long, but no problem at all, because you can take it here from the stream and bring it over like that, okay? There. Okay, so now maybe you copy this one, Control C, Control V, and then take it down here, and then make it short to align all the lines like that. And okay, make it just a little tiny bit, a little bit up. Okay, and now you got your separations correct. Okay, now the other thing that we're missing are the titles. So we're going to insert text. So we're going to go here, insert text, and we're going to grab a text box and we're going to put it right there. And we're going to say baseline. It's a little bit small, so I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it 13. Maybe 14, and I'm going to make it bold. Okay, so I'm going to use that formatting. So I'm going to go ahead and Control C, copy that, Control V, then I'm going to move it over here, and then I'm going to go inside and change the name, select that and put intervention. And so very good. So now we have, just make it to look nice. Now you have the graph. it looks pretty nice. So in order to make that a picture, you need to get rid of all these grid lines for the Excel sheet. So to do that, you go into page layout and you look for grid lines, and there they are, grid lines. And look, they're checked. The default is them to be checked. So you take this check mark out by click on it, and now it disappears, right? So now it's pretty nice because now you can take a picture of that, and you use it's called the spinning tool. So let's go ahead and print screen. Okay, so it doesn't let me print screen right now. Maybe because I am taping. But what is the point of this? Is that you print screen and you grab the the area of the graph, and then you make it a picture, and then you take it to any format, PowerPoint, Word, or even Excel, and then you will get the picture of your graph. Okay, so Taman, this is the end of it. I hope that it's not too long or boring, but listen to it and try to replicate what I have done here. So that you can make a graph like that, not only for multiple baseline, but the graphs that we have been studying for chapter 11 and chapter 15 for this class. In your book, you can use this technique to make graphs like that. Okay. Thank you for your attention and your patience, Taman. Thank you.